cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Patreon podcast. Of course, my name is Sunny. I'm here with my co-host Caleb.
Hello.
And of course, before we get too far in, we want to thank all of you, the wonderful patrons. So, of course, a huge thank you to... I feel like I'm missing a bunch of...
I think someone changed their Patreon name, maybe.
Maybe? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, a huge thank you to Kane Martin, Zyphorus, Cards, Goetia, Earth Machine, Best Deck, Epi, Has Anyone Actually Read Toy Vendor, HGH Cyber, I Am McLincoln, If All You Have Is a Cosmic, Every Problem Looks Like a Floodgate, John Leo, Monstertron, Mountain Man, Oatmeal Spaghetti, Owen Alvarado, Seta Kawaiba, Silver Hope, Unbanned Number 95, Konami, Understanding and Reading are two different things, Virtually Saviors World, Rogue, and Tier 2 are the polite terms for Bad Deck, Aaron Gardner, Asami, Ashless Chaps, Etsuyo, Sympathy Silver Castle, Blackwing Silver in the Ascendant is the best Floodgate, Boxwine, come on and get your game on, Duty Booty, Dragon, Maidenless Behavior, Dragon Maid Stunzeed, I'm about to Rika, Glamour Tribute for Costies, Plant Nuts in Your Mouth, Cam, the Hockey Walkie, Slush Mixer, Old Man Red, Pin Code 143, Slaking It Up, and Valen Tojo Mama, thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast. Now, and today, I was wanting to take a little bit of time to talk about nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
I was gonna say ruminations. Is that the right word? Ruminations?
I
like
mean,
the thoughts and...
I mean, you can ruminate on something, but usually that has a negative connotation.
Does it?
Usually when people use it.
Ruminating.
Like, I feel like somebody ruminating is like them
Like an
deep in thought about something.
Yeah, but you normally when you hear somebody saying that they're ruminating on something, it's usually like the evil wizard ruminating over the orb, pondering it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know that that's an inherently bad thing.
I don't think it inherently has a negative connotation, but like in a lot of fantasy pop culture, it's usually used as a way to sort of show off a negative intelligence, if that makes sense. Not like someone who's incredibly intelligent to use large words, but there's some sinister stuff behind it.
I guess I've never really considered the machinations of people who use the word rumination.
Exactly.
Well, what I want to talk about today is how wonderful it is to finally have a shelf.
Oh, here we go. So rumination specifically is repetitive thinking or dwelling on negative feelings and distress and their causes and consequences.
That's crazy. I never associated the word ruminate with negative feelings or a negative connotation. It just never really occurred to me in my mind.
Yeah.
So.
It's one of those things you just don't really think about until you get into the situation.
Right.
Where it matters.
Well, then I won't ruminate on it. I'll
ponder it.
Yeah.
Ponder, like the orb.
What is it with you and orbs? You're really stuck on orbs.
Have you not heard the meme Ponder the Orb?
No.
So, real quick, it's an old meme. It's like a wizard.
It's an old meme, but it checks out.
Yeah, it's not that old. Old for meme stats anyway. So where it's like...
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 days old. It's like ancient at this point.
No, it's like a year old. Ancient history. And like, it's like this wizard just kind of leaning back in his chair like this, just pondering an orb.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Oh, and then they're like, you like put something in the orb, and that way he's pondering that thing.
Sometimes. Give me 1 second. I'll pull up an example.
Sure. Now, okay, we're burying the lead here.
We are.
I feel that it is only right that we point out, yes, we have a Patreon episode going up on our YouTube channel, and it's a little bit different than most. So our patrons will be quick to point out that, well, you see.
Okay, hold on real quick.
Okay.
This is where it originated from?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
This is how it has been used.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's funny. We're not going to show that though, because it's just a little too suggestive for what we want for our audience. So we decided to upload a Patreon episode to our main YouTube channel. The
Kind of a sneak peek at what our patrons get every single week.
Yeah. So essentially, this is the extra episode that we do on Wednesdays on our Patreon. If you are interested in getting this extra episode, you can go ahead and check out our Patreon. Everybody in the $5 and up tier gets the extra episode. Usually only a half-hour episode, but
Usually only audio. We decided to do video for this one because it's
Yeah.
on YouTube.
yeah, we basically never do audio. I mean, we'd never do
do
video. Oh, could you imagine if the podcast never did audio?
Yeah, it's just us on it's a recording was just. Yeah, that.
Caleb, don't confuse the people. So, essentially, we wanted to give everybody kind of a sneak peek of what it is. We're like, we're 200 episodes deep. We can at least give the people a little bit of a insight into the deeper musings of our minds.
A little peek at what they're missing.
Yeah, and this is very rarely heavily Yu-Gi-Oh related.
Oh yeah, on occasion it'll get touched on, but that's just because,
Yeah,
we're big nerds. What do you expect?
I would say at this point that Yu-Gi-Oh is a pretty seminal part of what we do here. But
We like other things.
like what I like right now is my new shelf.
Woo!
So you haven't been able to see it in the videos, but I have had stuff. So I have like a man cave / studio or whatever. And essentially everything that's not on camera at this exact moment is just stuff everywhere. And
Yep.
I had a big empty space in the corner of my room where I had initially like a little tiny plastic drawer thing, and my desk was kind of like, I have an L-shaped desk and it was around that corner. Well, we rearranged the studio to make everything fit a little bit more comfortably. Well, when we did, we moved the desk against that wall, and it left a big empty space over there in the corner where initially I just stacked up my boxes. But I had a couple of friends get out of the game. I acquired a couple of extra collections.
And it kind of became a problem.
Yeah, all of a sudden my like 3,000 or 4,000 cards of bulk went to like 30,000+ cards of bulk.
Yep.
And I just had boxes literally stacked up to like the height of light switches.
Yep.
And that was just one stack of boxes. I had another stack like off to the side.
Yeah.
Stuff in the closet, like, which I haven't touched the closet. We're not going to talk about that. But basically, I needed a big shelf. And so I bought a 6 foot or 72 inches. Yeah, 6 foot storage shelf to put in that corner. And as it turns out, Harbor Freight Tools said the perfect one is it's a plastic shelf, but it's kind of it's a really thick, heavy plastic.
Yeah. It's not like a kid's shelf. This is like something you'd put out in a shop.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's a shop shelf, essentially.
Or like you'd put out in your garage to store like Christmas ornaments.
Right. But it does a great job as a Yu-Gi-Oh shelf. It was $50 at Harbor Freight, and I mean, it just does a wonderful job. And all I needed to put it together was a rubber mallet.
Yeah, you probably didn't even really need the rubber mallet.
No, you
you
really needed the rubber mallet.
Fair enough.
If you buy the shelf, spend the extra $5 or $10 and buy a rubber mallet while you're there.
Yeah.
Because you can't put it together with that one. Because if you use you need some kind of a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you use a metal hammer, because it's all plastic,
It'll just break it.
either that or it'll just like dent it. Because all of the poles are not one pole. They're all individual poles this long.
Got it.
And so like for each shelf, you have to take and hammer the pole. There's like a little hole right there, and you hammer the pole down into the hole, and then for each corner on every shelf.
Yeah.
So it takes like 20 minutes to put together, but you need a rubber mallet with like a head like this big around to make sure you hit them flat.
Yeah.
Because every one of those poles is just slightly, it's like the exact size of the hole.
Got it.
It's not meant to be snug. It's meant to be tight.
Yeah.
You can't put it together without some kind of a hammer. And if you use a metal one, you will dent it. So,
Fair enough.
But it's a great shelf. It holds everything rather well. I have like I said, somewhere in the neighborhood of 30,000 cards on there, no problem.
Give or take.
Yeah, and now I just need to organize all the cards, but that's a whole nother project.
That's a future you problem.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a right now me problem for sure, but I haven't gotten around to rendering it or to
It's a right now
resolving
you.
it.
It's a right now you problem for future you to deal with.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the attitude. So the next thing I need to do is figure out a way to rearrange things yet again so that I can actually access that bottom shelf down there.
Good luck.
Because to access it, I have to pull that whole drawer system out of the way
Yeah.
and then just kind of like crawl on my hands and knees under the desk to get to the bottom corner of the shelf.
Yeah, like the only thing I could think of is like moving. Like there's a, y'all can't see this. There's like another tiny like half shelf over there. You could just move that over there and put that there. But then you have to move that.
It would be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, it's something that you'd have to spend 3 brain cells, one more than you actively have.
And then if I do that, it blocks off the shelving in the corner over there.
Exactly.
It's a logistical nightmare. And I don't want to move that shelf because if I move that shelf a single inch, it's all going to fall to pieces.
Oh, it's one of those shelves.
It's a cheap Walmart shelf.
Listen,
yeah.
I used to have a bed frame from Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
This thing was 10, 15 years old.
Sure.
When I moved out of the place I was at like 2 places ago,
Mm-hmm.
I picked it up. It was great because like the head of it had like
Drawers.
like a
Like
cabinet.
doors. Yeah.
Yeah, like had a cabinet and stuff. Well, I picked it up and we were slowly getting it in, and like we were maneuvering it into the back of the truck, and we set it down, and it fit perfectly. And all of a sudden it just goes, it just collapses on itself. None of the wood broke.
Unfortunate.
It just fell apart like Lego.
Something broke to make that happen.
I don't know what broke. Everything looked fine. I was like, I was like picking up the boards, and nails had just been pulled out.
Well, I mean, clearly something was wrong there.
Yeah, and I was like, whatever.
What kind of a bed frame did you have that had nails in it? Bed frames don't have nails?
It was a wooden one. It was cheap wood. It was like plywood, but
I guess. I guess.
I mean, how else are they going to have like the cabinets with the little doorknob things?
I don't know.
Nails.
I just picture anything like that being put together with screws.
That's fair. This was nails. That might have been why, because it was 10, 15-year-old nails.
It could have had something to do with it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, with, in plywood, 10, 15-year-old plywood.
Yeah.
That eventually the wood just let go of the nails, and the whole thing just, like, getting picked up and shifted around, like, loosened all the wood out to where the nails just came right out.
Right. Well, I like my shelf. I'm very satisfied
Yes.
with it. Now, my next step, I almost want to get another one for that corner over there.
Maybe.
Because I think that a second one would go good over there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, you got a lot of space over here with a bunch of boxes.
Yeah, I keep the boxes in case I need to ship a giveaway winner, something
Things,
away.
Which is fair. Which you could then put the boxes, like, in the shelf.
Yeah, I could.
Have it organized.
I think I would probably use the shelf. I want a couple more of those archives or libraries or whatever they're called.
Yeah, to help sort.
Mm-hmm. Or a vault or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The thing that holds 12 of the 1,000 count boxes.
Yeah.
I love that thing, and it's a wonderful product.
Mm-hmm.
They're just expensive.
Yeah.
Well, okay. The place where I want to get one from, they're expensive. If you order them on Amazon, they're like $30.
That's still kind of expensive for what it is.
I don't think $30 is that expensive because that comes with all 12 of the boxes too.
That's fair.
I mean, the boxes are usually like $4 or $5 a piece.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Like to be fair, I'm basing it off of a box I bought to store all my comics years ago, which I then had to throw out because it was not. It was, well, I bought it for $1.
Yeah.
It was $1. Lasted about 5 years before I had to throw it out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Only because, hilariously, while we were moving, something fell on it.
You have lots of stories related to while you were moving.
Yeah, hilariously. We just kind of accidentally came into this. But, yeah, like something fell on it and it busted out the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Didn't harm a single comic book.
That's a relief.
Because, hilariously, because I didn't have enough to fill it. So all of them were kind of like this.
Yeah.
So when it fell, they just
Oh,
laid flat.
yeah, I got you.
So none of them got harmed.
Do you know what I need to get? Sorting trays.
Ooh, like for like computer parts and stuff.
No. For cards. They have sorting trays for cards.
Oh, right, like at card shops and stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Steelfox has some.
Yeah, if you can. Yeah, that's something I also need to pick up. Not now. Later.
I might see if I can grab some from Steelfox next time we're up there.
Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. They'll let you grab two. Grab one for me and just hold it here until I get space.
Well, considering I got your sneak peek, I'll grab one for both of us on your tab.
Okay, that's fair.
I think they're like $10.
Cool. That's fair. I think that is a fair trade-off.
Yeah.
Actually, that's like exact because like a sneak peek buy-in is about $20.
$22.50. Yeah.
Yeah. Two of those would be about the same price. So yeah,
Well, yeah, but one's for me and one's for you. So.
I'd still call it even.
I mean, I'll call it even regardless.
Come on, man. What's $10 between friends?
Speaking of, I don't know if you know this. Steelfox is moving.
I did not.
Yeah,
Where
they got a new, bigger place.
Where they? Where at?
Somebody told me it's. Unfortunately, it's even farther away from my house.
How
But
much further?
it's a much bigger venue,
Mm-hmm.
and they can hold like 260-person regionals there.
Oh, okay. It's worth it.
Yeah, it is.
It's well worth it.
From what I understand, it's actually not quite as bad on rent.
Huh. Maybe because location not being as good as compared to where it is now.
I don't know exactly what the reason is. They're also getting an extra bathroom.
2 of them.
Yeah, so now they'll have 2 bathrooms, which... What is it with card shops and bathrooms? I've never been to a card shop that had like a good bathroom situation.
Well, I mean, ETB has a pretty decent bathroom situation.
Okay, hold on. Think about what you just said. ETB can only hold like 30 people.
Yeah. But like for what it is,
So they have 1 bathroom.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
yeah, it's a decent bathroom situation. That's what I'm saying. ETB has a decent bathroom situation.
And even then, sometimes that bathroom gets backed up when
Yeah.
there's 30 people there.
Yeah. It can.
Steelfox, when they have a 60-man tournament,
Still has 1 bathroom.
still has 1 bathroom.
And there is a line between rounds. Let me tell ya.
And when you get to like the Mississippi shop, they'll have a 200-man regional there, 150-man regional,
1 bathroom.
1 bathroom, and a lot of times the toilet doesn't even flush right. It's a
Mhm.
travesty, but I will say everything else at that shop is pretty awesome usually.
Oh yeah, everything else. They just need to fix their bathroom situation.
Yeah, and again, to be fair, it's a very, very old building,
Yeah.
and they only have so much agency over what they can do to it. But, oh, dude, it's rough.
It's something.
Yeah, the shop is very cool. The people that work there are amazing, but that bathroom is woof.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was wondering
Mhm.
what I was about to say because I had something in my head and I forgot what it was stupidly because I'm stupid.
Ooh, that's funny. I have no idea what you're about to say.
Me either. That really bothers me. It's like when you walk into a room and you're like, huh,
Yeah, the event
why
horizon.
am I here?
Yeah, the event horizon effect. Or
Yeah.
the horizon effect. I think. Yeah, it's anytime you walk through anything that your brain deems a portal of some kind, it just resets your brain.
Like when I open an app on my phone to look something up, and then I'm like, I get in the app and I'm like, why am I here?
Yep. Horizon effect. I think that's what it's called. That's going to bother me if I don't look it up right now.
My favorite effect, like, okay, so when I say my favorite effect, I'm talking about like this, like a statistical trend or correlation, or like a way that our brains perceive something, kind of thing. Do you have any of those that are like your favorite one of that?
I don't, not in particular.
So there's an effect that is something along the lines of like, the more somebody knows about a topic, the more they think they're an expert.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, no. They just call it the doorway effect. Event boundary is what I was thinking about.
oh, okay.
Yeah. It's anytime you pass through an event boundary, they call it the doorway effect because that's where it's most commonly seen as a doorway of some kind.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're talking about the
Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah,
the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
So it's the less we know, the more we think we know. So it's like a cognitive bias thing.
Yeah.
So basically, if somebody doesn't know very much, they're like, oh, I know everything about this topic. And then the more they learn about that topic,
they realize, I don't know anything about this topic.
yeah, I don't know anything. And so it's actually funny. You have where you get to like, it kind of follows this trend where you go up like this, you get to this peak, and it's like the Mount Everest of stupid. And then you just dive off a cliff all the way to the bottom. They call it the Valley of Despair. And then you hit this gentle like slope upward, slope of enlightenment. And then when you get back to the top on the other side, it's it's like sustainability. And it actually, you hit that slope on the other side and you get to the peak where you were over here. But like
then
you
actually
know the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, the part of the reason why that's the case is because there are known knowns, which are things you know.
Yeah.
Then there are known unknowns, things you know you don't know.
Right.
But then you have unknown unknowns, which are things that
you don't realize
you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
So at the start of that is there aren't a whole lot. There are very few known unknowns and a lot of known knowns. So you feel like I know a lot about this subject because you don't know all the stuff you don't know. And then that Valley of Despair is you now knowing all the unknown things you don't know. You know?
Yeah. You know.
It's like that one episode of the Boondocks.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
What?
I'm just gonna go, ha.
It's a funny
I know
reference,
what
I
show
promise.
you're referencing. I just never really watched much of it.
It's got its moments of pure gold. That is one of them.
The only thing I know about the Boondocks is the itis.
The itis. Boy, is it real. Especially when you eat too much turkey.
Oh yeah, it's awful. But it is definitely a real thing. And I've often wondered why they don't just put beds in some restaurants.
Yeah, particularly if they sell that kind of food.
Oh yeah, you know the kind. It's like heavier.
Yeah, like really heavy. I don't know how else, but like a lot of barbecue places sell stuff that could absolutely knock you out.
Yeah.
In a good way, not a bad way.
Yeah.
Good way.
So speaking of things that just like knock you out, something that always makes me tired is alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain went through things that make me tired: alcohol, baseball. So let me tell you this.
Okay.
Have you heard what the MLB has done?
No, not recently.
Okay.
I don't follow sports ball.
Fair. To be fair, nobody has heard anything about the MLB in the last 30 years because it's baseball. So,
America's pastime, come on.
and it hit its peak of popularity in the late 80s and early 90s and has had a steady decline in ratings since because it's not entertaining. Okay, so baseball. Do you know anything at all about baseball?
A little bit.
Do you know what the 7th inning stretch is?
Yeah.
Okay. So baseball put in.
Oh, I know one major fact about baseball.
There's nothing in the rule that says dogs can't play.
I know two major things about baseball now. It is the #1 sport in Japan.
That is true. Baseball is huge over there.
Yeah.
You know why?
No.
I think, and I don't know if this is true, but somebody told me this.
Hmm?
After World War II, there was an American occupation of Japan, essentially, in the 1940s.
Yeah, that does make sense. A lot of Americanization.
Yeah, essentially the American occupation of
read-
Japan after World War II, like
I've-
around Korea and Vietnam, where
I've read several books on post World War II, like the immediate aftermath of World War II Japan.
When did you read several books on the immediate aftermath of World War II Japan?
Hilariously in high school.
Fair enough. I did the same thing during World War II Germany in high school. So
Yeah.
but like from the Jewish perspective,
Yeah.
I feel like I needed to clarify that.
Yeah. No. For me, it was post World War II Japan, because I was doing some kind of report or something. I don't remember. Something history related that we had to do about World War II. I decided to just do Japan in the immediate aftermath of World War II,
Yeah.
because that's something that no one else was doing.
Yeah. So, with that said,
Nah, that's cool.
baseball.
Yeah.
So, a few years ago, they were noticing a noticeable uptick in drunk driving accidents
After the baseball
right
game.
after baseball games would end
Because people would go there and drink a lot.
and then drive home.
Yeah.
Well, they started putting in, and the MLB supported these rules but did not make or enforce them. Some ballparks started putting the rules in. One ballpark did it, another ballpark did it, and all
And then two
pretty
more,
soon,
and
pretty
then
much
6.
pretty soon most of the major league ballparks had all put in a new rule that the MLB supported, banning the sale of alcohol after the start of the 7th inning, after the 7th inning stretch.
Uh-huh.
So this was to basically give fans enough time to sober up
Sober
before they
up.
drive home.
Fair enough.
Great rule.
Mhm.
Makes a ton of sense.
And then it allows them to serve alcohol without also...
Putting people at risk.
Yeah.
Okay. Baseball is boring and slow and sucks.
It needs
So-
it needs it.
Well, baseball is boring and slow and sucks, so the games were taking 4+ hours.
Yeah.
And the ratings were dropping and everybody hated baseball. So recently baseball made a bunch of rule changes about like how they like operated the games from like an operational standpoint.
To kind of speed things along a little bit.
Right. So now games are between 2.5 and 3 hours on average, which is
Okay,
like
cool.
down to like almost a normal sporting event time.
Okay, cool.
So with that said, they noticed something.
Hmm.
What would be, in your opinion, what would you do about this 7th inning rule
Mhm.
as a baseball club if the games are all of a sudden a lot shorter?
Oh, I would bump it down a little bit, maybe to the 6th or the 5th inning instead.
Why?
Well, because that means that people have less time to sober up.
So what did they do?
They didn't do
They
that.
realized they had less time to sell beer and it was impacting their beer sales, and they moved it back to the 8th inning.
Oh no! That ruins the point.
And literally, you have baseball pitchers and stuff and baseball players like infuriated. They were like, I don't get it. Why, if the goal of the rule is to give people more time to sober up, if the games are shorter, it doesn't really make much sense to move it back, and you're giving them even less time than they
Yeah.
already had.
Should have moved it forward to
Right.
like the 6th or the 5th.
Or even halfway through the 5th.
Yeah.
Baseball has really very clear, definitive lines on when a half inning is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like at the 5.5,
Halfway through the 5th.
halfway through the 5th inning, that's when you cut it off. Cut everyone off.
Right. But they didn't. Now it's the 8th or halfway through the 8th.
Yeah. Gives
What
everyone-
an insane rule.
that is.
And some teams have
Bonkers.
just gotten rid of it entirely. What a huge step back for baseball.
Oh, that's a baseball!
It's one step forward, but 2 steps back.
Yeah, it's like the preschooler running the bases in reverse at a baseball game.
Yeah.
At like their
get-
t-ball game.
Yeah, just getting a little too excited and accidentally going off in the wrong direction.
Yeah, which absolutely
Happens.
does happen as someone who has had a kid in T-ball. It does happen.
Listen,
more often than you would think.
When I was a kid in T-ball, it happened to our team twice. 2 different kids.
Oh, it happened to 2 kids.
2 different games.
No, it happened to 2 kids in 1 inning at one of Chip's games.
Just got too excited.
Yeah, just whoosh, up to third base.
Oh,
and it's like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. No, you go to first, and then they beeline across the pitcher's mound to first base.
You told them to go to first base. They're going.
Right.
And the shortest possible.
Clearly, that's how this works.
Oh, kids sometimes, man.
So, I don't know. But I just thought it was an interesting aside to bring up.
It is. It's fascinating.
Okay, well, with that said, do you have any closing thoughts on today's Patreon episode?
Somebody really needs to call a plumber for that leak.
Yeah. You're not getting any more of these, by the way. This is not, we are not a charity. We don't give away our content for free all of the time. I mean, like,
this is
the vast majority of the time we do.
This is our content that is paid for. This is our subscription service that we provide amongst other things as well on the Patreon.
Pay us enough money and we'll start doing episodes naked. I don't know what to tell you.
No. Not that far.
Well.
But I would gladly do it in a hot dog costume.
Wait a minute now. Hold on.
That's...
Patreon incentive right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Silly costumes.
Dude, 100 patrons and Caleb does the entire episode in a hot dog outfit.
Yes.
I'm so with it.
Hold on, then you have to do like ketchup or mustard.
I never said that. You agreed to hot dog. I agreed to make fun of you. There's no there was no agreement for
Now here's the thing though, all the negative incentives can't be just on me, my guy. There are 2 people.
But you're the most willing.
Because I have no sense of shame.
That is so demonstrably false. It is insane. You just said you won't do a naked patron episode.
Yeah, that's my limit.
That is literally a sense of shame.
That's our limit.
That's your limit.
That's my limit.
I'll consider it for enough money.
Nope. No, that is my limit. But then it's weird because then you won't do like a ketchup costume.
Yeah. I'm more comfortable with less clothes than more.
Yeah. I'm the opposite.
Yeah. That said, the only reason I wouldn't do it is because I know somebody's going to leak. I know this.
Don't do it.
No leaks. We say on the leak episode. All right. Well, hey, listen, thank you all so much for your constant continued support of the podcast. Like I said, if you want to get an episode like this every week, be sure, which normally we actually have like a topic to discuss, but
yeah,
we kind of didn't this time. We kind of just did it off the cuff.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's fine.
I think it was a neat episode.
Yeah, it's fine.
Jumped around a lot.
yeah, we always do. Remember that one time we went into an episode to talk about anime and ended up talking about furniture for 20 minutes?
Yeah, or like there was another episode where we went in talking about, I don't remember what we started talking about, but it ended up just on my particular gaming habits.
Oh, and then we deep dove into our editor's gaming habits. Sorry about that, Justin.
Like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, listen, thank you all so much for your continued support of the podcast again. And until next time, have a great week, everyone.
Take care, everybody.
Top cut, welcome to the top cut. Top cut, welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut. Welcome to the top cut.